Hey there, welcome to Craft Central Designs. My name is Dwynn, and I'm very pleased you stopped by my channel today. I have to share with you today this beautiful, very full Deco mesh wreath adorned with beautiful bows, white flowers, and This Is My Happy Place sign. This wreath is actually for me, and I will be placing it on the door of my RV that I keep at a very tranquil RV resort in Florida. My awesomely renovated RV is nestled under big trees, surrounded by a forest, and lots of chirping birds can be heard. I do most of my crafting there, therefore it is my happy place. I'll tell you more about that in a bit. Welcome to all to my channel today, and if you are not currently a subscriber, I hope you will consider becoming one, and give this video a thumbs up, and leave me your comments. I love receiving them. Okay, let me show you how I created this beautiful Deco mesh wreath. I have here This Is My Happy Place sign that I picked up on Amazon. I have here 3 different types of ribbon. I'm definitely going to use the black and white stripe. That's from Hobby Lobby. And the other 2 are from craftoutlet.com. And I ultimately decided to use the buffalo check. I wanted my wreath to be neutral colors in black and white. It has a little bit of gray on the sign. And then I wanted a splash of red because my patio is a lot of black and red. So those ribbons are for the bow. And here are my very favorite florals from Hobby Lobby, which I get every other week at 40% off. These flowers are gorgeous, and they are my absolute favorite. So I chose to put them on my This Is My Happy Place wreath. I'm going to be putting a heart on my wreath. I'm just going to be doing 1 heart, and I'm going to cover it with scrapbook paper. I have 3 different ones to choose from there. I didn't use that one, and I did use that one, the red with the polka dots. I'm just going to cover my heart with Mod Podge, and I'm going to place my heart over my sign on my wreath. I'm going to be using a 14-inch wire wreath frame from the Dollar Tree, and I purchased this 10-inch Deco mesh. I believe I purchased it on Amazon at some point in time. I just retrieved this from my stash, and I realized that I had it and thought it was perfect for this wreath. I have a white roll with black stripes, and then I have a black roll with white stripes. This is a 10-inch Deco mesh. I'm cutting it in 16-inch pieces. For each bundle, I'm going to use 1 white piece and 1 black piece. This Deco mesh is a very lightweight Deco mesh, more like the Deco mesh that you would find at the Dollar Tree, rather than the more sturdy Deco mesh like you would find at Hobby Lobby. But I'm going to make it work. I'm going to be using the woodland method, but I'm going to be rolling my ends 4 times because I want those rolls to hold, and I wanted them rolled more tightly than I generally roll my rolls with the woodland method. So what I'm doing to try to get a nice tight roll is I'm placing my fingers out at the edges, and I roll it that way 4 times. And when I have it firmly rolled, then I move my fingers to the center, then I scrunch it up the rest of the way. And I use my clip to hold that all together. And now I'm going to do my black Deco mesh. I used 2 full rolls, and I used those rolls of Deco mesh and made 28 bundles. Notice how tightly I'm rolling the ends. I'm doing it 4 times as opposed to the usual 2 that I generally do. But I don't want these rolls to come unrolled, so I'm rolling them more tightly. And I place my fingers out on the edges, as you see me doing there. Once I roll it up 4 times, I move my fingers to the center, and then I scrunch it up. I'm going to be using a half a pipe cleaner, and I'm going to place the white deco mesh and the black deco mesh together and secure it with a pipe cleaner. I always try and match my pipe cleaners to my ribbons and to my deco mesh that I use on any wreath. I give it a couple of twists, nice and firm. And when this deco mesh goes on the wreath, it looks beautiful. You can see by what I'm showing you there. When you scrunch it up together, it has a beautiful look to it. I'm going to show you that one more time. I have 16 inches marked out on my table there. I'm going to cut a white piece and a black piece. You can use a rotary cutter or scissors. Totally up to you. Okay, now let's roll that up again. Nice and tight. I want my rolls 4 times, keeping my fingers out on the sides so I can get a better roll, if you will, of that deco mesh. I place my clip, turn it around, and now I do the other side. Placing my fingers all the way out at the sides, roll it 4 times. Then I move my fingers to the center, place my thumbs down, and scrunch it up. Use a half a pipe cleaner to secure that. Now I chose these very neutral colors for my wreath because of where I'm placing my wreath. As I mentioned, my patio has a lot of red and black. But this wreath could be beautiful in so many different colors. And if you're not interested in having a sign that says, "This is my happy place," you could put a home sweet home sign, or home is where the heart is sign, or a welcome sign. I mean, there's just so many options. But this is kind of an everyday wreath, if you will. It's not a holiday wreath, so I can leave it up for a longer period of time. And so I wanted to choose colors for my wreath that coordinated with the area where it's going to hang. Half a pipe cleaner around there, twist it well in the back. And as you can see, when you scrunch it up, it makes a very pretty deco mesh application. And again, I'm putting it on that 14-inch wire wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. I've already filled up half of it. I'm going to be placing all of my deco mesh bundles on the second wire from the inside. All you have to do, very simply, is open up your pipe cleaner, press it down on the wire of the wreath frame, pull it down nice and snug against the wire. You can either reach under and twist your pipe cleaner, or you can turn it over like so. Pull it nice and snug against the wire so it's not moving around. And as I go, I keep pushing my deco mesh up against each other, if you will. This makes a really, really beautiful full application. I always say I wish that deco mesh came in something other than 6 inches and 10 inches. Maybe like an 8-inch would be really nice, because this does create quite an application of deco mesh. It is very, very full. And I often wish we had a little bit more of to choose from. Now, I do take my deco mesh and I really manipulate it because I want those rolls to kind of intertwine with each other, if that makes sense. See how I push my deco mesh around? I just manipulate it. It's very durable. Once you get it on your wreath frame, okay, this is my happy place sign. And right now, yes, the wreath looks rather bland, but I'm going to start putting some color to the wreath. And I'm going to be using that black and white stripe. That's a beautiful Robert Stanley ribbon, wired ribbon from Hobby Lobby. And I am such a buffalo check girl. I love buffalo check. So I think I'm going to go with the red and white buffalo check, even though I deliberated about this for over and over and over, on and on and on. So I figured, hey, if I change my mind, all I have to do is make another bow. Actually make two bows, which I just showed you there, the bows that I made. Okay, so I am going to make two bows for this wreath. I'm not going to make my bows as large as I normally make a bow when I place just one large bow on the wreath, because I'm going to be placing each of those bows, one at around 11 o'clock and the other around 5 o'clock. I absolutely love this red and white buffalo check ribbon. I'm going to leave about a 10-inch tail, and I'm going to pinch my ribbon right at the 10-inch mark, and I'm going to start creating the loops of my bow. I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to make my loops around 8 to 9 inches. I twist my ribbon, although I really didn't have to, because this ribbon is double-sided, so you don't have to worry really about the good side versus the wrong side. So I'm going to make my loops all symmetrical, and I'm going to fold over my loops, pinch it in the center, and hold that firmly. I'm going to cut off my tail's approximate length of the other tail, and I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and wrap it around that 4-loop bow. Pull it around the back and give it a good firm twist. And then I'm going to create another layer to that bow, which is going to be that black and white stripe. This wreath has so much potential, and I hope while you see me creating this wreath that you're thinking about perhaps making one for yourself and how you would create yours, with what colors, what type of ribbons, maybe floral ribbons, maybe buffalo check ribbons, different types of flowers to place around the wreath, what color Deco mesh. You could also go with a 6-inch Deco mesh and make your bundles of the smaller variety of bundles. You don't have to use the 10-inch. So I'm going to create another 4-loop bow. This black and white striped ribbon is one of my favorites. I love black and white together. I know I am such a color girl, and those of you who follow my channel know that I just love colors, but I also love that look of black and white. So I'm going to include that on this wreath where I have the black and white Deco mesh. Now I'm going to create a single loop right down the center. This ribbon, this Robert Stanley ribbon from Hobby Lobby, is a little bit more on the softer side, meaning that it doesn't have a lot of sturdiness as a ribbon. Like, say, for example, the buffalo check, which is much more sturdy, or a burlap. But, that's the way it is with ribbons. They come in all different types of fabric. So because I'm making a small ribbon, I'm okay with the fact, or a small bow, I'm okay with the fact that it's a little bit of a softer ribbon. So I created my center bow. I'm going to take my tail on the top, pull it through my center loop, marry it up with the tails on the bottom. And now I am going to place that bow, which is a little bit smaller in loops than the buffalo check. I did that one around 7.5 to 8 inches, as opposed to the buffalo check, which is around 8 to 9 inches, the loop size. I don't measure out my loops. I've been doing bows for half my life, so I'm pretty good at eyeballing it. But if you're more comfortable measuring out, feel free to do that. Whatever works for you and makes you comfortable and satisfied with the end result. So I'm going to reach around the back and place those two bows together. I will have some extra pipe cleaner tails there and just cut those off. And I'm going to leave those long pipe cleaner tails on there because that's how I'm going to attach that bow to the wreath frame. I'm going to leave my tails on that bow and not trim them up until I actually have them on the wreath. And I think this bow is very pretty with the red and white and black. I could think of just so many ways to make this wreath and different types of signs to use on it. But what I'm hoping that you just learn from watching my videos is just the principles of wreath making, and that you will hopefully be thinking of how you would create your own look and your own style and your own colors for your own space, just like I'm doing. I made another bow. I didn't make you sit and watch me do that. Now I'm just going to cover my little heart that I'm going to place on my wreath. And I'm just going to trace around my heart that I had left over from Valentine's Day. I'm just going to cut that out, squirt a little bit of Mod Podge on the wood heart, and adhere that heart right to the wood, or adhere that paper, to the wood heart. And then I'm going to put a layer of Mod Podge over the top of that. I just use a sponge applicator to spread out my Mod Podge. And I thought the heart was rather fitting because I always speak of how I just love my RV. And I've spoken about that before, but it's just kind of like my little tranquil getaway place. And it's definitely my happy place. I renovated my RV completely. My son helped me. And I have so many very cool DIYs inside of my RV, as well as on my patio, including my fountain that I made on a previous video. And now I'm just spreading my Mod Podge out so I can put my scrapbook paper on the heart. I'm going to make a little video one day and show you some of the DIYs that I have inside of my RV as well as on my patio. So it's really, my RV is really an expression of my creativity. So I'll share that with you one day when I get an opportunity to do that. And here we have my little red heart, which I think is so pretty. And I'll show you where I'm going to place that on the wreath. I'm putting it up in the upper right-hand corner, just a little bit above the sign. And I'm just putting a layer of Mod Podge just to seal that, because it will be under a large awning. So it's not going to be directly in the elements, but it does get humid here in Florida. So I have to think about that whenever anything I have to decorate with is going outdoors. And here is this is my happy place sign, and I have to prepare that so that I can attach it to the wreath frame. So I have 2 full-size pipe cleaners that I just bend in a shape that I can adhere them to the sign. And I have an extra little piece of felt. Now, I personally don't worry too much about always using, sometimes I do use tacky glue, but not always, because if something falls off, it's okay. I just put it back on. But if you're making a wreath for someone, or you want to just be absolutely sure nothing happens or anything falls off your wreath, go ahead and use some Aleene's tacky glue on anything that you hot glue. But for this wreath, there's not much hot glued at all. It's my heart is a little bit of hot glue. The back of the sign with the pipe cleaners has a little bit of hot glue, but that sign also is sticking into the mesh, so it's not going anywhere. And I attached my bows at 11 and 5 o'clock by the pipe cleaners. Now I'm going to take my absolute favorite flowers and my wire cutters, and I'm just going to snip off those flowers from the stem, and I'm going to place them around my wreath. Now this stem of flowers, and I have there the tacky glue that I was referring to, and it helps if you use a little bit of tacky glue so that the flowers are well adhered if your wreath is going to be outdoors in a hot, humid climate. I placed all of my flowers around with hot glue and a little dab of Aleene's tacky glue. And I love it. It's simple. It's primarily neutral. There's my heart that I placed at the top of my sign. And for my taste, I love it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But again, I could see this 100 other ways. Just an idea for an everyday wreath. To place a sign in the middle, that's an expression of you. This is an expression of me. And I love it. And I hope you do as well. If you're not currently a subscriber, I hope you will consider becoming one. Leave me your comments and let me know what you think of my wreath. And as well, if you would give this video a thumbs up, it really helps my channel to grow. Next up, I'm doing a gorgeous coastal wreath. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to share it with you. I'm very, very, very much into coastal decor. Okay, until next time, you all take care.